Cuba's entry into the BRICS alliance marks the start of a transformative era, as the nation moves beyond its long-standing economic constraints to emerge as a rising force in the global south. After decades of isolation due to sanctions and limited access to global markets, Cuba now stands at the threshold of an economic revolution. Recently, Cuba officially joined BRICS as an associate member, aligning itself with the economic powerhouses of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, positioning itself as a key player in the shifting landscape of global trade. This membership is not just a political victory for Cuba, but a lifeline, offering new wealth, critical resources, and enhanced trade partnerships. Once isolated and under siege by economic sanctions, Cuba now finds itself on the cusp of a revolutionary economic resurgence. The decades-long U.S. embargo that sought to stifle Cuba's growth is now a relic, and this new chapter allows Cuba to break free from the restrictions of the American-dominated global financial system. As an associate member of BRICS, Cuba can now collaborate with some of the world's largest economies, which together account for over 45% of global GDP, and include major oil producers. This shift is particularly significant because it allows Cuba to bypass the US dollar in its trade agreements, an unprecedented opportunity for a country excluded from dollar-based transactions for over 60 years. This new path opens the door for direct trade with other BRICS nations, facilitating smoother exchanges and access to goods and services that were previously out of reach. But the benefits of Cuba's BRICS membership extend far beyond trade. It paves the way for Cuba to engage in major scientific, technological, and innovation-driven projects, particularly in sectors like energy and infrastructure. Cuba, which has long struggled with outdated energy infrastructure, stands to gain from collaborations that will bring much-needed upgrades, helping the country leap into the future of energy production. The immediate influx of goods and resources from BRICS countries will help Cuba fill gaps left by the embargo and boost its self-sufficiency in key sectors. While Cuba's economic rebirth can be partly attributed to strategic geopolitical shifts, one leader's unwavering support has been central to making this moment possible. Russian President Vladimir Putin played a pivotal role in championing Cuba's entry into BRICS during the 2024 BRICS summit in Kazan, Russia. Putin's backing reflects the deepening ties between Havana and Moscow, aligning with BRICS's broader vision of a multipolar global order. As the BRICS countries continue to forge new trade partnerships and invest in infrastructure, Cuba is positioned at the heart of this evolving global order. The Mariel port, one of Cuba's most strategically located economic hubs, is set to become a primary storage and distribution point for BRICS goods heading to the Americas, enhancing Cuba's role as a dominant logistics and trade center in the region. This makes Cuba a crucial link in the global supply chain. Beyond its strategic location, Cuba's membership in BRICS also highlights the country's significant contributions to public services and industrial sectors. With expertise in biotechnology, agricultural sciences, health services, and nickel production, Cuba is poised to play a vital role in advancing BRICS's initiatives, particularly in sectors where technological exchange and cooperation are key to progress. Cuba's experience in biotechnology, for instance, could lead to breakthroughs in healthcare and medicine not only for BRICS nations but also for the wider world. This partnership offers mutual benefits, as Cuba stands to gain from increased access to resources and technology, while also contributing its own expertise to the BRICS alliance. Cuba's inclusion in the BRICS alliance marks a pivotal moment for the island and the global geopolitical landscape. As a new member, Cuba is poised to foster collaboration across critical sectors like sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, and scientific research. This membership not only presents Cuba with opportunities to innovate and grow, but also signals its readiness to embrace a larger role in global affairs. The question now is whether this partnership will accelerate the decline of the U.S. embargo, potentially signaling a shift in global economic power from the West to the global South. How will BRICS reshape international trade and relations in the years to come? With all eyes on Cuba, the future appears bright as it positions itself to become a small but influential economic powerhouse, showcasing resilience and transformation. Cuba's BRICS membership is more than just a political move. It represents a fundamental shift in power dynamics between the global South and traditional Western powers. For Cuba, the benefits are far-reaching. The island is now in a prime position to lead the charge in renewable energy, a sector where BRICS nations are heavily investing. Cuba's potential to harness wind and solar energy with BRICS support could dramatically reduce its dependence on expensive imported fuels, creating a more sustainable energy future for the Caribbean. This transition not only strengthens Cuba's energy sector, but could also set an example for other nations in the region. Beyond energy, Cuba's expertise in education and healthcare positions it as a key contributor to the broader BRICS goals. Cuban doctors, renowned worldwide for their expertise, can now engage in joint health initiatives across BRICS nations, furthering innovation in medical research. Cuba's established track record in training doctors and providing healthcare to underserved populations opens new opportunities for shared knowledge and resources, ultimately benefiting millions across the globe. This could lead to expanded medical tourism, collaborative healthcare networks, and accelerated pharmaceutical development within BRICS. Economically, Cuba stands to gain significantly from the creation of free trade zones under the BRICS framework. These zones will help Cuba enhance its ability to process, store, and redistribute goods, giving a much-needed boost to its infrastructure. The Mariel Special Development Zone, already a bustling logistics hub, is set to grow exponentially with BRICS investments, modernizing facilities and attracting foreign direct investment. This influx of capital will diversify Cuba's economy, which has long been dependent on a narrow range of industries, and drive growth across sectors. For the U.S., Cuba's BRICS membership represents a strategic challenge. The long-standing economic embargo, once thought to be a tool for isolating Cuba, is losing its effectiveness as Cuba finds new economic partners and opportunities outside the U.S.-dominated sphere. As BRICS nations reduce reliance on the U.S. dollar and opt for alternative currencies, Cuba's role within the bloc further isolates Washington's influence. The previous U.S. administration's hardline stance, which ramped up sanctions and attempted to further isolate Cuba, now seems out of touch in a world where Cuba is establishing robust economic alternatives. Looking to the future, Cuba's alignment with BRICS is already yielding benefits. Since officially becoming an associate member on January 1, 2025, trade with BRICS nations has grown, spurring progress across various sectors. Cuba is focusing its efforts on boosting tourism, agriculture, and technology, with infrastructure upgrades already in the works. Perhaps most exciting is Cuba's emphasis on digital transformation. With BRICS support, Cuba plans to overhaul its telecommunications infrastructure, making high-speed internet and cutting-edge technologies accessible to more citizens. This digital revolution promises to integrate Cuba more fully into the global economy, while also fostering innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship on the island. The rise of a flourishing tech ecosystem in Cuba will attract international partners and solidify the nation's position as a hub for technological innovation in the Caribbean. President Miguel Díaz-Canel has expressed optimism about Cuba's future within BRICS, emphasizing the importance of South-South cooperation and advocating for a more equitable global order. His administration is committed to strengthening ties with BRICS nations, with a focus on scientific collaboration, cultural exchange, and shared economic growth. Under his leadership, Cuba is becoming a more integrated player on the world stage, signaling a new era where the island is no longer isolated or limited by a single foreign policy approach. Cuba is now part of a dynamic, multipolar global order full of opportunities for trade, investment, and cooperation. Cuba's journey with BRICS sends a powerful message. Resilience, strategic partnerships, and forward-thinking policies can reshape a nation's future, even against seemingly insurmountable odds. For the United States and other Western powers, Cuba's shift toward BRICS serves as a stark reminder of the changing global influence. As the West adjusts to these new realities, the power of international collaboration, especially among global South nations, is becoming undeniable. Cuba's success within BRICS represents not only a victory for the island, but also a symbol of what can be achieved through unity and mutual support. As Cuba moves forward within the BRICS framework, its achievements will serve as a testament to the transformative power of global cooperation. This new chapter offers Cuba an opportunity to redefine its role on the world stage and establish itself as a leader in innovation, sustainability, and international collaboration. If you found this story engaging, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on global events and their far-reaching impacts. We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think Cuba's BRICS membership will reshape international trade and global relations in the years to come?